What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's full-time reaction to Celtic 4, Ross County 2. I've got Callum and Martin with me to go over it. Martin, Flag Day, always a good one, and good to get underway with 3 points. Would you make it?
I think pre-match everybody was feeling it was like a carnival atmosphere. Everyone was delighted to be back and a really good mood in the camp. And then the team news came out and there was lots of question marks over, maybe not so much Starfelt, but my Hatate in particular. Why is Hatate on the bench? I'm not sure we know the answer yet. But a good opportunity to see some freshness in the team, and good just to unfurl the flag at the start of the game. So that made us feel good. But in a really strange game. I mean, how good were Ross County in that first 15 minutes?
15 minutes. We were nervy, weren't we? It was kind of like Tuesday night. We started nervy. I wonder what the cause of that is. We were really nervy at the back, particularly. I
don't know if Malky Mackay said, look, the only way we're going to have a chance here is to go out and try and nick a goal early doors and then contain the game after that. But I was shocked they didn't get their goal because they were playing in the 6-yard box, you know, time and time again. And a couple of times you're thinking, I can't believe they never scored in that scramble in the box. But so a real nervy start. But then, of course, after that, we got a grip in the first half and got a couple of goals, and then thought it would just be a formality in the second half, but it wasn't quite that either. So a really strange game overall.
Aye, Callum, it was a bit strange one after that sort of nervy start. We obviously had the strange pass back for Ralston up in the air, and then Hart's hesitant, and Ross County were claiming for a penalty, although it wasn't because there wasn't any contact. He just loses his footing. But then from that goal kick, we take it, and I think Navrocki tries to play it to Carter Vickers. It goes out for a corner, and everybody just lost their composure for a wee minute. But shortly after that, we get the penalty, and then the game did calm down. But it was a bit of a strange start, wasn't it?
There was just a strange feeling. Like, Martin hits it on the nose, to be fair to him. Like, there was a carnival atmosphere. Everybody was loving it. You were excited to be back. And then first 10 minutes, and do you know what, credit to Ross County, and so many times I stand here and give credit to other teams because the football can be turgid at times when opposition come here, but fair play to Malky. He came here with a plan, 2 up front, played Jordan White and Simon Murray, both attacked as the press was exactly what we need at this part of the season, if we're honest, because we need to be tested. There's no point of them coming here saying, well, we're just going to concede 5 and sit up, we'll have a go, and they've got 2 goals out of having a go, to be fair to them. So Ross County were 1 penalty away for going down to the Championship, so that's probably one of the poorer teams that we're going to face this year, and I thought they were decent again, but I didn't think we were overall great. I don't know if it's just start of the season, like that's going to happen. You're going to have maybe spells where you're either on it, and then you're going to have spells where you're slightly off it, and it's legs, isn't it? But Navrocki, I thought, done really well. I think he's really good in the ball. I'm Starfelt's biggest fan, but he's probably better than Starfelt on the ball. I think coming out for the back, he's got a good presence. He reads the game really well. There was a few rocky moments where the ball was a bit short, and rather than going for it, and maybe Starfelt would give you that foul where he'd make a foul, he actually steps in to then take the weight of the person and then goes the opposite way, so the person bounces off. So he's quite intelligent as well when he sees danger. So I thought that was a bonus. Then the first goal comes, and it was really from nothing really. It was a bit of a scrap, but Taylor does really well. He plays really high up, he drives in, it's a clear penalty, and VAR checks it. I think that's just standard now, it's going to check everything, and we get the penalty, and maybe surprised Turnbull stepping up, but we spoke about it on Tuesday, the video that never happened. But we spoke about it, and I did say I had a feeling Turnbull's going to be like a James Maddison at Leicester under Rodgers. I think he's a luxury player. He's not a physical player, he's not a leggy player, but he's somebody that will just pop up with great goals. He always has shots, always gets assists. Some of his reverse little balls are phenomenal, and he steps up and slots the first goal and starts the season off for us.
Aye, Martin, David Turnbull was the surprise inclusion, I suppose, because we all expected Hatate and O'Reilly to join McGregor in midfield, but he gets 2 goals today, David Turnbull. That justifies his selection. And can you see that this style under Rodgers might suit him a bit more, and he starts with a clean slate? And do you think he'll get more minutes than he did last season?
I think at times when he's played for us in the past, he's been pivotal. He's been really important part of the team, and he does get us goals. And I like, as Callum says, he's got so much to his game. He reads the game well, his positional sense is good, his distribution's good. It looks like he's never having to break sweat. He's that type of player as well, but always in the right place at the right time. I like him a lot. I really like him a lot, and a lot of Celtic fans I think had written him off. But he didn't really have a run of games, and he had that injury as well. He was out for a while with an injury, but I was looking at some of his stats earlier on today, and his goal-to-game ratio is not bad for a midfielder. For a midfielder that sometimes has to play quite deep as well. You know, he's not always playing in that number 10 position. I like him a lot, and as I say, he's scored some big goals in some big games, so he's a big game player. So I'm hoping to see a lot more of him this year. Just hope it's not to the detriment of the likes of Hatate, because I thought when Hatate came on today, he was really good.
I thought he played a wee bit higher up than usual, Hatate, when he came on.
I mean, he reads the game. Some of his passes, he had that pass into Maida, for example, you know, it wasn't perfect, it was just a wee bit too heavy, but he's such an intelligent player. and he's got it all. Hatate's got it all. I mean, I think other than Kyogo and Carter Vickers, Hatate's, well, he's in our top 3. But whatever order you want to put those 3 in, I'm not going to argue with you because they're all top class players. And there's just something alright about him maybe no starting, unless the gaffers thought, right, let's have a look at some of the other players. It's Ross County at home. It's one of those games where you should be able to give other players a chance. And let's not. I mean, we know that Postecoglou would play starting 11, and he would rely on that starting 11 most weeks.
Yeah.
It's only once or twice during the time he's with us that he didn't do that. Like St Mirren away, for example, where it went against us.
Yeah.
But more often than not, he'd play his best team. I suppose a counter argument is it's the start of the season. We've not got midweek games, so why wouldn't you just play your best 11 and start with your best 11? But I think he wants to have a look at a couple of the players. Turnbull being one of them, and he didn't disappoint today.
I think that's a big call next week, isn't it? In midfield, going to Pittodrie, really tough game. Does he put Turnbull in again, or does he introduce Hatate? Callum, I thought in this, once Kyogo gets the second goal, we were really in control then, and we looked much more assured. But in that middle period of the game, I thought we were really good just before half time, just after half time. I think O'Reilly was brilliant in midfield today, all afternoon before he came off. Kyogo's set up for O'Reilly's goal was fantastic as well. A wee bit of movement, just leaves the centre half, flick round the corner for O'Reilly, a brilliant finish. Anybody else stand out for you?
Kyogo was brilliant, as you've spoken about. See the reverse ball, he puts the nutmegs the defender, Turnbull's 1-on-1, and he hits it straight at the keeper.
And then we get a rebound,
shooting, and O'Reilly gets it again. He's overstretching to get the ball, to be fair. I feel like O'Reilly's doing a lot more running under a Rodgers team than he did under an Ange team. You've seen him do a lot more running. He wasn't all the time on the ball, but what he does add to his game is his physicality, and that's where, is it the second goal it comes from him, persisting on the touchline, right down it where I was sitting. He does really well to keep the ball in.
Turnbull second,
third goal, and he does super well. Ends up playing the ball in, and it just goes to the back post and drops for Turnbull. But Turnbull was probably the standout in the middle of the park. I just feel like under Rodgers, he's just his type of player. Like, he could probably be player of the season genuinely at this point. And I know he's already 2 goals, but I just think that he's somebody that's going to suit Rodgers probably more than I think a Hatate. I probably do think that, because I think, to Martin's point about Hatate maybe not starting, I think Hatate's looked off it in pre-season, really off it. And fair dues, you're not going to judge people in pre-season, right? It's pre-season at the end of the day. But I think what maybe up to Rodgers was that pass that done against Bilbao. He doesn't even check his left shoulder and just willy-nilly hits it, and he just looks a little bit lethargic and a little bit casual, and just not really. He doesn't maybe want to be in Scotland, he maybe wants to be in England, maybe that's maybe where he wants to go. And I don't know, because I don't know the guy, so maybe I'm just guessing, but I wasn't surprised when I seen Turnbull on tonight. I said that to you on Tuesday. I would not be surprised if I seen Turnbull. And you were going.
I was still surprised. He done well on Turnbull, but I was surprised.
But
to
it
see
shows you, but Rodgers is brave there. He's brave. He's going to do that, and again he got it right. Because if he did, Celtic might have drawn this match to each. But you never know.
I mean, Starfelt's on the bench as well, and I think Rodgers said before the game that he's maybe for the off Starfelt. I know he came on in the game, but Martin, other subs, debutants, Jan came on. I thought he looked really lively. What do you think of him?
He's a bit like a Paddy Roberts. He wants the ball, and he wants to keep the ball as well, and he's confident. He's just maybe got to go past a few more players, and that's Paddy Roberts would do that, I suppose, that end product. But I like him a lot, and it'll be interesting to see whether he gets a start, or whether he's going to be that impact player that comes on when the other team's tiring, and he just he demands the ball and he starts pinging it about here, there, and everywhere. But really confident on the ball, and he's not one of those players that will take it and just play the easy pass. He wants to be creative, so I like him. I thought he was good on Tuesday and decent again today.
Callum, I just think the goal's a wee bit soft. That would be a concern. Wee bit dodgy at set pieces throughout the day, but then Jordan White gets that header at the back post, it just loops in, and then obviously the goal is like effectively the last kick of the game. It gets deflected in off Carter Vickers, I think, but you don't want to get in the habit of losing cheap goals.
Nah, and I said to Martin before we came on here that other teams will look at that and go, they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable, and I don't believe that we are vulnerable, but I don't know if that's me being naive. I'm not sure, because I leave here feeling a bit, I don't know how I feel. It's weird. It's like good and bad. It's a mix of emotions. But the first goal we concede is terrible. It's like schoolboy defence. I'm sitting right behind it. Joe Hart is in your 6-yard box. You must come and get the ball. And now I personally think if that's serious, he's coming out and punching it. I genuinely believe I'm a fan. Joe Hart's been really good for Celtic, but Celtic cannot be sympathetic towards players. It doesn't matter whether you're the best or you're the worst. If you can improve, which I think Celtic can go out and get a reasonably good goalkeeper that's better than Joe Hart, one with his feet. There's moments in the game, and we're going to get caught in Europe big time on this. See, when he's dilly-dallying, he's taking 20 seconds to decide what he's doing. Europe, you're getting pressured. One, you're overhitting it and giving it straight back to a Leipzig player, or you're going to get punished. That's what's going to happen. He keeps going with Carter Vickers. You need to skip a centre-back sometimes and just go straight to the full-back, and then it allows the midfielder to come in, and it means teams are almost have to have a really good press on you to get out, or you beat their press and then you go. We take too long. Joe Hart just takes too long. That's why he's in Scotland. At the end of the day, that's why he's at us and he's not in England at a top club, because he's not really got that part of his game. It's maybe never been part of his game. But I think if Celtic want to go another level, Celtic probably need to get a goalkeeper that can play with his feet and save as much as what Joe Hart can, like a Craig Gordon type-esque of who can play like with his feet a little bit. But for me, teams like Feyenoord, Benfica's, Porto's, teams that we feel like we are no far off of, they've all got keepers that can play quick football, bang, bang, and they get out. And in Europe, that's where you're going to get tested and you're going to get caught, because today we took chances today against Ross County.
We did. I think people will keep talking about the goalkeeping situation as well, Martin. Who's your standout today?
The standout has to be Turnbull. I agree with Callum that Kyogo played well in the game today as well. But I think Turnbull in particular, I thought O'Reilly played his part. Defensively, I thought Carter Vickers again. I thought Walkie was decent. Didn't think Taylor had the best of games, but I would say Turnbull in particular. I mean, he obviously scored 2 and he had an assist. I was kind of hoping to see quite a bit of Abada today. I didn't think he was particularly good. Obviously, he went off. Although his pass for one of the goals was sublime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a good knock on from Turnbull.
Yeah.
He won the ball and then played it perfectly in Abada's path. But that pass, when you watch it back, and you just see the limited space that he had.
The thing I liked about that pass is he didn't go in front of the centre half. He went behind them, and it was perfect for Kyogo.
It was good. And Forrest had that great chance at the end. I know you can't score every chance you've got, but what a great chance that was. Yeah. And Kyogo's missed a couple of sitters, so you know, we could easily have scored 7 or 8 goals today, easily. So I understand exactly why there's a degree of flatness, but I was quite pleased overall. And for me, Turnbull's a standout.
Yeah, Callum, man of the match.
I would echo the words that Martin says. Turnbull's by far the best player on show today. When you says to me on Tuesday about Thiago maybe being your, was it young player of the year or best signing? Best signing. I've only seen him on the hats. I was working on Tuesday, so I wasn't here.
Wee glimpses it.
See when I seen him today, but you just tell. See when you go anywhere and you watch a game of football and you see somebody, you go, he's a good wee player. See some of his turns, he ends up fooling somebody. He goes in for the ball and drops his shoulder and then goes the other way, and the ball runs through, and the boy's then behind him, and he can't get the ball because he's shadowing it. Wee things like that are clever, and he looks like he's going to probably be a big player. So maybe that's a good shout. But I'm still going to go with Narotsky as best signing. But Thiago's a good one. But Turnbull, man of the match for me, mate.
I'm just going to pip O'Reilly for man of the match, I think. Turnbull was good, obviously get the 2 goals, but I was impressed with O'Reilly. Hopefully more to come. There you go, 3 points for the Hoops. We are top of the league currently as we record this. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts in the game below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the pub for post-match pint. Thank you.